in about 1971, I just got out of school. And there's a producer, bass player. At that point, he was just playing bass, named Toru Nakamura. And I knew this talk about this instrument that you could carry around to different gigs was available. So I was playing with this one musician, and he said that Toru was selling his Rhodes for $500. So my father actually put up the money, and I went to Toru's house, and I bought the Rhodes. It was a suitcase model. And I was using it on gigs. Of course, getting around was incredibly difficult because I didn't have my own car. So I had a friend who had a Datsun 280Z, and we had local gigs, and what would happen is that he'd help me take it to the gig, but like one part at a time. He'd take the top part, then we go to the gig, come back and get the bottom part, and take it to the gig and set it up. Then when the gig was over, we break it down, he'd take the first part, the speaker part, we bring that home, then go back to the club and get the other part, because it was too big to fit in the sports car by itself. With Betcha, it's funny because Gene Carn was supposed to sing that song. No one knew who Phyllis Hyman was. But again, it being an album that had contemporary R&B flavors in it, and Norman saw me as the guy that could kind of balance out the jazz and the R&B, and really, if you want to get that sound at that point in history, the 70s, the Rhodes was the instrument you had to use, because all of a sudden, if you used the acoustic in the context, all of a sudden it was either considered like gospel or jazz. So the Rhodes kind of gave it the flavor that you already felt it more closely aligned with an R&B, contemporary R&B flavor. And it's a warm instrument. And that's one reason I think I used it for the arrangement. I think the artist that I learned a lot from, who didn't use Rhodes a lot, but we did some recordings, he utilized the Rhodes because he was a heavy straight ahead cat, was the late Woody Shaw. The album called Moon Train, and there was a tune called Katrina Ballerina. And actually I felt that I played the Rhodes better on that album than I did the acoustic piano. And then when he got signed to Columbia Records, he asked me to do an original piece. There was a tune called Every Time I See You. And the Rhodes was used solely for color, because when I did the acoustic solo, the Rhodes was a cushion underneath the acoustic piano. So that's another thing I have to learn how to do, is how to coordinate when I would actually play both instruments, overdub one over another. And on live gigs, sometimes I would actually play them together at the same time. But I think Every Time I See You with Woody Shaw, Betcha by Golly Wow with Norman, and Main Voyage with Norman. I think those utilize my touch on the electric piano.